who also happened to train to be a professional wrestler since he was 11 years old, which I didn't know about until I heard that story and he performed at WrestleMania.
Did you watch him on WrestleMania?
Of course. I was there. Dallas, Texas.
Oh my
I
God, you
loved it.
got to go?
And I'm going this year at SoFi Stadium, too.
Oh my God, how was it?
Unbelievable.
He was so much more athletic than people expected.
The backflip, and then for him to do the whole squat jump and then do the suplex to Austin Theory, that blew the roof off the place.
The energy must have been incredible.
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's like the GOAT of professional wrestling from a charismatic standpoint, gets the biggest pop I've ever seen, comes in, drinks a few beers with Pat, Stone Cold Stunner. Pat knew how to sell it completely. He's like, that was the greatest moment of my life. He's like, I don't even care if my wife knows it. Like, that was the greatest moment of my entire life.
I can't believe you were there. What a great event to go to.
I try to go to WrestleMania whenever I can. I grew up,
good to know.
I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid. So it's like,
you're familiar with Paul Heyman?
Paul Heyman is the greatest mic worker, promo artist. I'll call him a promo artist I've ever seen for someone who's never actually been in a match. And his story
and you've
is
met him in
unbelievable.
person, correct?
I have once. He is very intimidating.
He's fantastic.
He's fantastic. He's intimidating.
He's a great human, though, and he takes people under his wing through his life that he reaches out to. I got the privilege of meeting him a couple of times and then was able to have dinner with him. And still to this day, like when I'm doing good things, out of nowhere, I'll get a text. And I hear the text, I read it to myself as if he was cutting a promo. And I feel it, like the juice is there because he uses his words. And then he's like, you know, that was really great. You know, you keep doing this thing. And I'm just like, and it just like, it's like a check. Like it's like when you don't have a boss, but the person that just comes down over you and like tells you you're doing the right thing to stay on the path, you're like, so hype for days. For days. He's a monster.
He's probably like Miss Anne.
Such a great dude. So, and also so helpful, like in his community of linking people together. He's introduced me to people that I've been friends with for 10 plus years now, that he just wants the good people he knows to look out for each other. And he has that like fiber in him where he's just like, oh, I think you two should meet. I think you two should meet. Amazing.
And he is as real as they come too. So he's not going to BS you if he doesn't think you're worth it.
But like if you hear his voice somewhere in person, like if he's talking to somebody before you walk in to see him, it's like no one else is even talking. You know, you just hear his voice. I feel like it would be like that for me with McAfee right now. If I walked into a restaurant, McAfee was across the room and talking, I would be like, everyone stop breathing. I hear him. He's in this location.
Have you tried to get on his show?
Not yet. I'm waiting till Gumpy comes back.
Yeah.
So what I did was when they were selling the free Gump shirts to get Gumpy back, you know, the import-deport situation, I was like, I'm going to silently buy this shirt. I'm going to take a bunch of photos in it. I'm going to post it at 12:01 on a Wednesday. I know their whole interview schedule. I knew that would be a good time. I knew they'd be just coming up on something. And they made a big deal about it. And if there was a moment where all the listeners of McAfee thought Gumpy and I were going to get married so I could bring him back. But it's just not that easy, especially with Canada. Or I would have already done it. But then after that, I became close with Gumpy. We watched remotely. We watched Succession together. Just like I check on him weekly, making sure he's still in a good headspace because it's got to be frustrating. But so I'm waiting for Gumpy to come back. And when he flies back to the U.S., I plan to, no matter what I'm doing, drop everything, be at the airport with a bunch of fans, with signs, and just welcome him, like make it just this crazy thing. And then I told him, like, whatever he wants to fly to Vegas. Every time he's off, I will sponsor him to take mad trips with me to just welcome him back to the U.S.
And it's so dumb what's happening, too.
He could just go in through the border at Mexico. I keep telling him, but it's not going to work. But it's sad. It's sad. But at least, you know, Pat has him working. He's still doing all the editing. He still does Hammer Down, you know, all the podcasts and everything. So he's still good. But so I'm waiting for that moment. I don't want to burn it yet. I want to be side by side with Gump when it happens.
Well, that'll be a cool reunion then. To be on like your favorite show and have that reunion at the same time. And I'm sure you're welcome on at any time.
I'm sure. And like the guys in the studio, that bit that day was like, it was hearing all of their commentary about me was really, really sweet. And I was like, all right, we're just going to leave this here. And then we're going to keep making it about Gumpy. But like anytime guys on the internet see me posting a photo, like I was with Mikey Overs this weekend, all I get is, does Gumpy know about this? Does Gumpy know about this? I'm like, oh my gosh, that was like May last year. Like you're still on this and I still love Gumpy, but there's nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah. That's great. That's like, of course, he probably, like, he has a phone, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like
we talk regularly. He knows what I'm doing, but that show is just dynamic and really showing us that you can have fun without being negative.
And it's the new norm. Like we were talking about traditional broadcasters on the way out. Like we talk about a Jim Gray, legend, Hall of Famer. does not resonate with people my age or
Oh my gosh.
teenagers.
There's no way if you put him on in a room and didn't let people have their phone, and on the other side let people have their phone, they would be listening for 60 seconds. They'd be so deep in TikTok. You're like, there's like, I need something faster. I can still listen to him and still hear it while I'm doing this. It just wouldn't work. And also, like, look, I love Michael Irvin. Cowboys, Cowboys love, but like, Michael, like, you can't talk about how good the Cowboys are for 20 minutes every fucking week because they're not. They never are. They're never going to be better than a 10-6, 10-7 team. They're never going to make it past the first round. We know this. I went to the last Super Bowl the Cowboys were in Arizona. I was like 95.
Yeah.
That's been a long time. Like, young people don't know that they call them America's team. Some of these people weren't born yet. They don't know we've been to the Super Bowl. They have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stephen A., like, he'll just go on a rant. So in the morning, I start my day with Get Up every day. And I start my day with Get Up when Greeny's doing it.
Yeah.
And then at 10 a.m. Eastern time, it switches to Stephen A. And then Greeny goes on ESPN 2. So I'm on the app. So like if I have my earbuds in, I'm across the room and I hear Stephen A. open and start yelling about something, I know I got to run over and change the channel and get to my Greeny because I do really like Greeny. He's
Two completely
great.
different personalities.
Totally.
Greeny is the type of guy where I feel like he's approachable. I could approach this guy, be like, nice to meet you. Like, he's just, oh, you're killing it in the space. Congratulations.
Yes. Super kind.
Stephen A. Smith. Not that Stephen A. Smith isn't like that, but I could just tell him, like, he's charismatic. He doesn't take any BS. Like,
Right.
probably not as approachable. Kind of like Paul Heyman. Like, nice guy, but at the
Yes.
same time, I'm having a panic attack.
Sure.
I don't know what he's going to say to me. Like,
course.
am I worthy of being in the same room as this guy?
But like Greeny eases in my morning. He gives me and Greeny covers everything and has great producers. I love Hembo. Like he's intelligent. I love that they cover baseball. A lot of shows really shy away from baseball. And they give you a little bit of everything. So I feel like if I'm going to do 3 hours in the morning, I want to know what happened last night in the NBA. Because on the East Coast, I don't get to watch all the late games. I like to go to bed, I want to hear about hockey. I'll give you my little taste of everything. And if there's something that really excites me, I'll dig deeper online.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Stephen A. will just talk about something for 20 minutes, the same topic. And I'm like, I could have learned 10 things out of Greeny right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, like, especially during baseball, like playoff season, October, they'll give baseball 10 minutes. Like when Aaron Judge was breaking the home run record, it's like, oh, they'll bring on Mad Dog and talk for 10 minutes.
Who never pronounces anybody's name right as long as he's lived.
No, I've met him. He's like, Jake, what's going on, man? I'm like, yeah, okay. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. Smith, like, you could tell, not a baseball fan. He'll talk about it because it's on the agenda and he has to talk about it.
It's
like,
his
so
rundown.
I appreciate the fact that he only talks NFL and NBA because it's what he loves to talk about as opposed to talking about hockey or baseball, where it's like, okay, he has limited knowledge, and I could tell. Like when he did, him and Rogan did the post McGregor Khabib thing on ESPN, and Rogan called him out. He's like, he doesn't know MMA like we do. Like I shouldn't have been there doing that with him.
No, and Rogan is so fucking good at it.
Yeah, well, it's like that's his whole life.
Oh my
is fight.
God, so good at it. But like, look, Stephen A., you have great producers. Let them speak for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
These young producers that we're hearing are eventually going to be in your seat. And so if you don't know something about Greeny does it. If there's something he's not really well versed in, he'll let his producers take it. And then you build a relationship with them too. I like building a relationship with the whole show. And ironically, I would rather listen to Greeny on the radio than watch him on TV.
Really?
I just like
the voice.
The voice. The TV is a little bit more distracting, and when I listen, I'm really focusing on that room. I don't know. I just really listen well when I'm not watching something.
How difficult or easy was it for you to try to kind of transition into being like a host? Because with SiriusXM, it was mostly radio with what you were doing. Obviously, talking about something you were familiar with, but like, was it difficult for you becoming a host?
It wasn't because I've been studying it for so many years of my life.
Yeah.
And when I first went out on the road in the 90s, we didn't have the internet. You went into a hotel, the only goal was they have HBO and ESPN, right? You would have like 4 channels. And so that was when SportsCenter was the same for like 8 hours overnight. And it would just be the same rotation, which I didn't even mind. I would watch the same rotation for like 3 hours. And so once it became me doing sports radio shows to promote my feature gigs, I really became a fan of sports radio. And so when I would sit there, I would see what I liked, like a good tease before a break, like, ooh, I want to answer that question. I'm definitely going to sit through this commercial. So curious. And before the internet, you couldn't even Google it before the commercial was over. And so I really picked up on, I was almost like I was studying my craft without knowing it. And those great hosts kept me company when I was alone on the road. For 7 years, I traveled alone. And so the only thing I had to look forward to was a sports page ESPN, and now I love ESPN Up All Night on the SiriusXM app. It's like Sports Center, but you're just listening to it and it goes through the whole thing over and over a loop. But so I listened to hosts and I was able to, like, when I sat there, I was like, oh my God, weirdly, I know what I'm doing because I've been listening to so much sports radio. I know how to, like, Greeny is the smoothest with a read. He could be having a conversation with an interview. You don't even know it's over. And next thing you know, he's talking about Indeed. And you're like, oh my God, that was so good. So, and I still study it because you always want to be better.
You're probably already, like, you knew what they were going to talk about before they even started talking about it.
Yeah, it does.
That was
happen
me.
that
I was
way.
watching games growing up. I'm like, oh, you know, if they did that instead of that, that wouldn't have happened. And then, like, Michael Kay on the S Network is like, well, they should have done that. And I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I know, like, this is going to be easy.
Kay. Oh, another great broadcaster, right?
He's the reason I'm probably standing here with you today.
Really?
To get into sports media. I season tickets. I had no friends growing up because people would come to knock on the door. Is Jack home? It's like, yeah, but it's 7:05. First pitch is right around the corner. Like, I never missed a game. You
That's
know,
amazing.
I turned away like kickball outside in the cul-de-sac. No, I'm watching the game. You know, Sox are in town.
Was your brother the same way?
Not at all. I mean, he's a big fan, but
he would go out and play.
he has a lot of friends.
Did you collect cards?
Oh my God. Underneath my childhood bed, I have binder of nothing but cards. And I have, like, this one box of nothing but autographed cards, like jersey pieces, bat pieces, all that stuff.
And did you trade them with friends?
Absolutely. There was one time my dad, like, almost grounded me. I traded a Reggie Jackson autographed card for a guy who you might know as a Mets fan, Rod Barajas, was a catcher.
But still, that was not a worthy trade.
For whatever reason, my friend convinced me, dude, it's Rod Barajas. And I went home. And my dad's like, you traded Reggie? Like, for who? I'm like, Rod Barajas. He's like, who the fuck is Rod Barajas?
And by the way, catcher cards had no fucking value. No one could even recognize a catcher because all the gear they had. So it was like, you saw the picture, like, oh, I would have never known what this guy even looked like.